Here we are in the middle of the third quarter already. Schools are starting back up here in the States. The summer vacations were great. Visiting with all the friends and family was a bit exhausting, and everyone's ready or getting ready for that final push through to the holidays next quarter. I mention all that because this is a unique time of year regarding employment, careers, and opportunities in our light industrial industry. The production plants are wrapping up the Christmas runs. The manufacturing arena is kind of resetting for the next year, and distribution centers are running full bore again. The kids are back in school, and we are all ready for the sprint to the end of the year. I'm Marty, and I'd like to thank you for stopping in with Warehouse and Operations as a Career today. We're going to continue with our job description or warehouse position series, but I wanted to take a few minutes and get a few of your questions answered. Going forward, we'll throw in an AMA segment every once in a while, an Ask Me Anything minute or two. It's so cool to review all the thoughts and ideas being sent in every week, and please keep them coming. So speaking of questions, someone asked about the baler in the warehouse. Let's see, this came from Valeria in Spokane, Washington. Today we'll get that explained and try to gather up some answers to a few other questions, as well as speak to the unique time of year it is. So let's start the episode off with a broad question from Malone. Malone asked why attendance is such a big deal. She is working, or was working, her first warehouse job. Her background was in the food service industry. Her struggle point was why is tardiness and the occasional call-in treated like the associate doesn't want the job or that they don't care about the company? She stated her restaurant employers understood employees much better. You know, retail and restaurant, even fast food and convenience store jobs are great and all can, make great careers. Their management positions can be quite lucrative. And yes, they can be a bit more lenient than the manufacturing, production, and distribution jobs. It's not a difference in the managers or the bosses. It's that the responsibilities, regulatory concerns, the workplace environments, and the dangers that are present in so many more ways are important. If we're late for our department startup meeting, we may not be able to work our shift. That's where we'll learn about our day, what's going to go on, our KPIs, our production needs, the shift's expectations, and any safety-related concerns for the day. That meeting, depending on the job, may be required by some agency. Our handbook may stipulate the meeting to be mandatory. You can imagine if your manager had to cover the same speech 3 or 4 times as people straggle in. Yes, the occasional tardy should be worked with by our employer. Things like traffic, wrecks, and congestion can happen to us. That's why it's important for us to make it the exception and not the rule. You may have heard me, and I always get reprimanded when I say it, that our warehouse careers are like being in the major leagues or in the bigs. Not that the jobs are better or more prestigious, but that, or I feel that, there's more responsibility and, yes, more growth potential in our industry. I'll get a few emails about that statement. Our industry doesn't let no-call, no-show slide. The leave earlies and coming in lates just don't work. Our industry has production needs to be met. Safety concerns that need full-time focus. A commitment to excellence, if you will. I hope that answered Malone's question. Attendance is paramount in our industry. Okay, which position are we discussing today? Let's talk about that piece of equipment that's often tucked away in the corner of the warehouse, but plays a big role in both cleanliness and cost savings. The baler or compactor. If you've worked in a distribution center or large warehouse, you've probably seen one. Those big, boxy, and maybe a little intimidating machines, they handle our leftover cardboard, plastic shrink wrap, and sometimes other recyclables. The baler is a machine that compresses recyclable materials like cardboard or plastic film into dense, stackable bales. These bales are then tied off with wire or plastic strapping and can be easily moved with a forklift or a pallet jack. Now, a compactor works kind of the same way, but instead of creating bales for resale, it compresses waste materials into a container for disposal. In some facilities, both functions are combined into one position. The primary purpose is to reduce the volume of waste materials. Loose cardboard or plastic can take up a massive amount of space in a dumpster or recycling area. By compressing it, we not only keep our docks and aisles clear, but we also reduce hauling and disposal costs. In the day-to-day flow of warehouse operations, we generate a surprising amount of packaging waste. Palletized goods arrive wrapped in layers of stretch film. Products often come in bulk cases packed inside cardboard boxes. Pallets of small items may have multiple layers of protective packaging. Without a system to manage all this plastic and cardboard, it would quickly pile up, create clutter, and become a safety hazard for our teams. Your facility may have a sanitation department that separates and brings us cardboard and plastics to bale. Here's how the process typically works. Sanitation, us, or associates gather empty boxes and plastic wrap at different workstations or at collection points like at the end of the aisles or the end caps. Then the waste is transported to the baler compactor area, often using rolling carts, bins, or cages. I've seen some great wire cages created for the plastic and cardboard slip sheets. So how does this monstrosity work? These machines can be big and quite intimidating. As the baler or compact agent, we'll open the feed door and load our material into the chamber. The door is big, thick, and heavy. You'll notice the large locking hooks that secure it. This door can be dangerous if it's not locked properly. We need to stack the waste in layers to help the machine create a uniform, dense bale. Once enough material is inside, we'll secure the door back in place and engage the compaction cycle. The hydraulic ram compresses the material, reducing it to a fraction of its original volume. When the chamber is full and pressure can't compress anything further, the machine signals that the bale is ready. We'll thread baling wire or plastic ties through the little pre-cut slots to secure the bale. Once we tie off the wire or crimp the ties, we're ready for the machine to eject the bale onto a pallet where we'll haul it off or have a forklift operator haul it and stage it for pickup by the recycler. So why did facilities create this position, you may ask? Couldn't everyone just use the baler when necessary? Absolutely, and some facilities may train several people on how to use it. Like many other tools or machines in the warehouse, the baler can be a dangerous machine. It's under immense pressure when compacting. And like many of the others, when operated properly, it's safe and a great tool for us. Its use offers several advantages. Let's see, I made some notes here. First up is space savings. Cardboard and shrink wrap can take up huge amounts of space if left loose. A baler reduces that volume dramatically, keeping floors and dock areas clear. Safety improvements. Loose materials on the floor are tripping hazards, especially those slick plastic slip sheets. And stacks of uncompressed cardboard can tip over and block doorways or exits. Keeping materials contained improves housekeeping and reduces potential OSHA violations. And we can't overlook the environmental impact. Recycling cardboard and plastic reduces landfill waste. Many companies use their recycling programs as part of sustainability initiatives, which is increasingly important to customers and corporations. And then there's the revenue from recyclables. Baled cardboard and plastic film can be sold to recycling companies. Now the prices vary. However, larger facilities can generate thousands of dollars annually from these sales, easily offsetting the operational cost. Lower waste hauling cost is another huge advantage for facilities that, pay by the dumpster or by the haul. Compacting means fewer pickups, saving on those fees. While the benefits are clear, and I briefly mentioned it earlier, balers and compactors are also extremely dangerous if used improperly. We have to keep in mind things like crushing hazards. The hydraulic ram is going to exert tremendous force, enough to crush materials into dense blocks. That same force can cause severe injury or death if a person's hand, arm, or any part of the body is inside the chamber during operation. We can't get tangled up either. Loose clothing, jewelry, or long hair can get caught in some of the moving parts. Bales can weigh hundreds of pounds. If improperly tied or ejected without care, they can fall and cause serious injury. Performing maintenance or clearing jams without shutting down and locking out the machine is a leading cause of compactor-related injuries. Lock out and tag it out. The big one for me is untrained associates operating the machine, which increases the risk of accidents. As you've learned here at WAOC, never touch or even get close to a piece of equipment or any type of machine that you haven't been trained on and certified to operate. Your facility should require that all baler and compactor operators be trained and authorized to use the equipment. Safe practices could include things like our training. Of course, should cover the proper loading, operating, tying, and ejecting procedures. What else? Personal protective equipment. Gloves to protect our hands from sharp edges on cardboard or metal ties. Safety glasses when cutting or tying the wire. Steel-toed shoes for protection from the heavy bales. And people never bypass safety devices. Most machines have interlock switches to prevent operation when the doors are open. Never override or disable these features. And clear communication is a must. See how I threw that word in there again? If multiple people work around the baler, operators should signal before starting a compaction cycle. And proper material handling is important. Never put non-approved materials in the baler. Things like metal, glass, hazardous waste. Load evenly to prevent jams. And remember your lockout tagout training. Always shut down and lock out the power before performing any maintenance or clearing any jams. The baler or compactor position may not be the flashiest position in the warehouse, but it is a vital one. Poor baler management can cause clutter, reduce safety, and slow down operations. A good operator keeps the whole recycling process running smoothly. The baler or compactor is one of those behind-the-scenes machines that keeps a warehouse efficient, safe, and clean, while also adding a little extra revenue to the bottom line. But it's a machine that demands respect, proper training, adherence to safety procedures, and an understanding of its role in the bigger picture of operations make all the difference. So next time you pass by that big machine in the corner, you'll know it's doing more than just crushing boxes. Okay, I gotta get back to work myself now. If you've enjoyed today's talk, please urge your friends to check it out on their favorite podcatcher and send them over to our Facebook and Instagram pages using that little @ WHSEOPS. And send us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasAcareer.com with an idea or two. Have a great week, be productive, be on time, and be safe in and out of work. The family is waiting at home for us.